This isn't just any coin, this is the story of the 1981 D. Lincoln penny. And somewhere out there, this little copper piece could be hiding in someone's drawer, change jar, or even your own wallet right now, worth an astonishing $9.4 million. Sound crazy? Stick around, because by the end of this video you might just start checking every penny you come across. Let's get into the unbelievable journey of one of the rarest, most valuable modern coins in American history. The legacy of the Lincoln cent, ***. Before we talk millions, let's rewind. The Lincoln penny has been around for over a century, first minted in 1909 to honor the 100th birthday of President Abraham Lincoln. It was the first U.S. coin to feature a real person, breaking the tradition of symbolic figures like liberty. Designed by Victor David Brenner, the coin originally had wheat ears on the reverse, and his initials VB became the center of early controversy. Fast forward to 1959, and the reverse was changed to the Lincoln Memorial, giving us the classic design we know today. That memorial design was in place all the way until 2008, making millions of Americans incredibly familiar with the look and feel of the Lincoln cent, the 1981 D penny. What makes it special? Now let's zoom in on 1981, specifically the 1981 D penny struck at the Denver Mint. On the surface, it looks like just another regular copper penny. But under the surface lies a world of secrets that could change someone's life forever. In 1981, the U.S. Mint was undergoing a major transformation. The cost of copper was rising fast. So by 1982, the composition of the penny was changed from 95% copper to 97.5% zinc with only a thin copper coating. But in 1981, pennies were still being made with mostly pure copper, but here's where things get exciting. Somewhere in the transition, a minting error, an anomaly, or even a test strike may have occurred, leaving behind an incredibly rare 1981 D. Lincoln penny with unusual characteristics, possibly struck on the wrong planchet. With unique die errors or one-of-a-kind features that elevate its value into the stratosphere, collectors, dealers, and coin historians believe that only one or two of these ultra-rare versions exist. And when one of them came up for private sale, it was reportedly sold for a staggering $9.4 million. Yes, you heard that right, for a single penny. Why is it worth so much? Let's break this down. Why would anyone pay that much for a penny? Rarity. The coin is beyond rare. It's possibly unique, which means you could be the only person in the world to own one. Mint error. Coin collectors go crazy over minting errors. Double dies, off-center strikes, planchet flaws, these features can increase a coin's value exponentially. Historical timing. As the last year before the copper to zinc changeover, 1981 pennies hold extra historical importance. Anything unusual from the year becomes a collector's dream. Condition. This coin may have been in pristine condition, graded as MS 68 or higher, making it museum-worthy. Collector demand. The rare coin market is booming. Wealthy collectors are paying top dollar for ultra-rare coins. When competition meets rarity, prices skyrocket. The current market, still out there. So what's the market like today? Hotter than ever. As more people get into coin collecting, demand for rare pieces continues to rise. Coins that used to be worth hundreds are now worth thousands. And that elusive 1981 D penny? It's still being hunted. Some believe there may be one more out there, possibly sitting in an old collection, a family coin jar, or even in the back of a cash register. The idea that another $9.4 million penny is still in circulation gives treasure hunters and everyday folks a reason to look a little closer at their change. In fact, TikTok, YouTube, and Instagram are filled with stories of people discovering coins worth tens of thousands just by checking their spare change. This isn't a fantasy, this is a real possibility. How to identify it? What to look for? ***. So, what should you be looking for? Check for copper. 1981 pennies should weigh around 3.11 grams. If it's lighter, it may be zinc. If it's heavier, it could be special. Look at the mint mark. D means it was minted in Denver. Keep an eye out for oddities around the letter. Inspect the details, use a magnifying glass or coin loop. Look for doubling in the date, unusual die marks, or anything that looks off. Get it graded. If you think you've got something special, send it to a professional coin grading service like PCGS or NGC for evaluation. Final thoughts. Your penny could change your life. ***. At the end of the day, this story is about more than just a coin. It's about the thrill of discovery. It's about how something so small, so overlooked, could be the key to a completely different life. So next time you get change back at the store, don't toss it aside. Look closely. Because who knows, you might be holding on to the next $9.4 million penny. The 1981 D. Lincoln cent is a reminder that treasure doesn't always come in gold bars or buried chests. Sometimes it comes in copper. So keep your eyes open. Keep checking those coins. And maybe, just maybe, you'll be the next lucky millionaire made by a single penny. Imagine checking your old coin jar, pulling out a dusty penny, and realizing it's worth over $4.6 million. Sounds impossible, right? Well, let me take you into the world of the 1990 Lincoln penny, a coin so rare, so mysterious, and so valuable it could literally make you a millionaire overnight. Grab your magnifying glass. Because we're diving deep into the hidden treasures of your pocket change, and trust me, you won't believe the story behind this lucky 1-cent coin. Hey treasure hunters! Welcome back to your channel name where we turn everyday objects into extraordinary fortunes. If you're new here, hit that like button, subscribe, and ring the bell because you do not want to miss what we're uncovering today. Now let's jump into the penny that changed everything. A penny with $1 million secret ***. Let's talk about the 1990 Lincoln cent, a seemingly ordinary coin. It's got Abraham Lincoln's classic side profile on the front and the Lincoln Memorial on the back. Looks just like any other, right? But here's the twist. In 1990, something very unusual happened at the US Mint. A tiny error. A missing detail. One that would send shockwaves through the coin-collecting world years later. Some of these pennies, minted in Philadelphia, were accidentally struck without a mint mark. That's right, no little P under the date. And that missing letter? It's what turned a 1-cent piece into a $1 million masterpiece. Only a tiny number of these were ever made. Some experts estimate fewer than 200 exist. Others say it might be even less. And when rarity meets demand, you already know what happens. The value goes through the roof. History, how it all happened, ***. Let's rewind the clock. The year is 1990. The Cold War is winding down. The internet is still a baby. And at the US Mint, hundreds of millions of Lincoln cents are rolling off the presses. Now, since 1980, all pennies made at the Philadelphia Mint were supposed to have a P mint mark. It was standard protocol. But in 1990, for reasons still debated to this day, a small batch of proof pennies, intended only for collectors, were struck without the mint mark. These weren't just any coins. They were proof coins, the highest quality, mirror-like finish, struck with extra care and detail. Meant to be flawless. Meant to be perfect, but someone somewhere made a tiny mistake. And in the coin world, tiny mistakes can mean huge profits. Discovery and value explosion. The first of these no-mint mark 1990 Lincoln proof pennies wasn't discovered until a few years later by a sharp-eyed collector who knew what to look for. Once word got out, collectors went crazy. Auctions started heating up. People began rifling through their old coin collections, proof sets, and change jars, hoping to strike it rich, and then boom. A pristine 1990 NOS Lincoln penny sold for a jaw-dropping $4.60 million in a private auction. That's right. One single penny, from 1 cent to millions. What to look for? Could you have one? Now, before you run off to check your piggy bank, here's what you need to know. White heavy check mark. The valuable version is the 1990 NOS Lincoln cent white heavy check mark. It comes from proof sets. Not regular circulation white heavy check mark. It should have a mirror-like finish with a super sharp strike. White heavy check mark. It must be missing the S mint mark on the front. Under the date white heavy check mark. It should be graded by a professional service like PCGS or NGC. If you think it's real, only a handful of these gems have ever surfaced. So if you spot one, don't spend it. Protect it, get it authenticated, and get ready to change your life. Circulating value versus collector value ***. Let's be clear, most 1990 pennies are worth 1 cent. Millions were made. But the rare ones, the no-mint mark proof coins, they're a collector's dream. In lower grades, even damaged ones can sell for hundreds to thousands. But in pristine condition? We're talking 6 to 7 figures. And because most people don't know what they have, there could still be undiscovered $1 million pennies sitting in dusty boxes or forgotten collections. The millionaire mindset. ***. Stories like this prove something powerful. Sometimes wealth doesn't come from hard labor. It doesn't come from inheritance. It comes from knowledge, from curiosity, from paying attention to what others overlook. That 1-cent coin someone tossed aside could have been a life-changing fortune. A $4.6 million penny. This isn't just about money, it's about possibility. Hidden value. The kind that turns everyday people into overnight millionaires. Call to action ***. So, do you have a lucky Lincoln penny hiding in your home? Go check those coin jars. Dig through your drawers. Look at your old proof sets. Because the next millionaire could be you, and if you want more wild stories like this, hit that subscribe button, give this video a thumbs up, and share it with your friends. You never know who's sitting on a gold mine. Thanks for watching, and remember, treasure is everywhere if you know where to look. Imagine checking your old coin jar, pulling out a dusty penny, and realizing it's worth over $4.6 million. Sounds impossible, right? Well, let me take you into the world of the 1990 Lincoln penny, a coin so rare, so mysterious, and so valuable it could literally make you a millionaire overnight. Grab your magnifying glass. Because we're diving deep into the hidden treasures of your pocket change, and trust me, you won't believe the story behind this lucky 1-cent coin. Channel branding, ***. Hey treasure hunters. Welcome back to your channel name where we turn everyday objects into extraordinary fortunes. If you're new here, hit that like button, subscribe, and ring the bell because you do not want to miss what we're uncovering today. Now let's jump into the penny that changed everything. A penny with $1 million secret, ***. Let's talk about the 1990 Lincoln cent, a seemingly ordinary coin. It's got Abraham Lincoln's classic side profile on the front and the Lincoln Memorial on the back. Looks just like any other, right? But here's the twist. In 1990, something very unusual happened at the US Mint. A tiny error. A missing detail. One that would send shockwaves through the coin-collecting world years later. Some of these pennies, minted in Philadelphia, were accidentally struck without a mint mark. That's right, no little P under the date. And that missing letter? It's what turned a 1-cent piece into a $1 million masterpiece. Only a tiny number of these were ever made. Some experts estimate fewer than 200 exist. Others say it might be even less. And when rarity meets demand, you already know what happens. The value goes through the roof. History, how it all happened, ***. Let's rewind the clock. The year is 1990. The Cold War is winding down. The internet is still a baby. And at the US Mint, hundreds of millions of Lincoln cents are rolling off the presses. Now, since 1980, all pennies made at the Philadelphia Mint were supposed to have a P mint mark. It was standard protocol. But in 1990, for reasons still debated to this day, a small batch of proof pennies, intended only for collectors, were struck without the mint mark. These weren't just any coins. They were proof coins, the highest quality, mirror-like finish, struck with extra care and detail. Meant to be flawless. Meant to be perfect, but someone somewhere made a tiny mistake. And in the coin world, tiny mistakes can mean huge profits. Discovery and value explosion, ***. The first of these no mint mark 1990 Lincoln proof pennies wasn't discovered until a few years later. By a sharp-eyed collector who knew what to look for. Once word got out, collectors went crazy. Auctions started heating up. People began rifling through their old coin collections, proof sets, and change jars, hoping to strike it rich, and then boom. A pristine 1990 NOS Lincoln penny sold for a jaw-dropping $4.60 million in a private auction. That's right. One single penny, from 1 cent to millions. What to look for? Could you have one? Now, before you run off to check your piggy bank, here's what you need to know. White heavy check mark. The valuable version is the 1990 NOS Lincoln cent white heavy check mark. It comes from proof sets. Not regular circulation white heavy check mark. It should have a mirror-like finish with a super sharp strike. White heavy check mark. It must be missing the S mint mark on the front. Under the date white heavy check mark. It should be graded by a professional service like PCGS or NGC. If you think it's real, only a handful of these gems have ever surfaced. So if you spot one, don't spend it. Protect it, get it authenticated, and get ready to change your life. Circulating value versus collector value, ***. Let's be clear, most 1990 pennies are worth 1 cent. Millions were made. But the rare ones, the no mint mark proof coins, they're a collector's dream. In lower grades, even damaged ones can sell for hundreds to thousands. But in pristine condition? We're talking 6 to 7 figures. And because most people don't know what they have, there could still be undiscovered $1 million pennies sitting in dusty boxes or forgotten collections. The millionaire mindset. ***. Stories like this prove something powerful. Sometimes wealth doesn't come from hard labor. It doesn't come from inheritance. It comes from knowledge, from curiosity, from paying attention to what others overlook. That 1-cent coin someone tossed aside could have been a life-changing fortune. A $4.6 million penny. This isn't just about money, it's about possibility. Hidden value. The kind that turns everyday people into overnight millionaires. Call to action, ***. So, do you have a lucky Lincoln penny hiding in your home? Go check. Where we uncover hidden treasures you might be holding in your pocket change right now. Today's episode is going to absolutely blow your mind because we're diving into one of the most shocking, most talked about, and most lucky pennies in modern history. Yes, you heard that right. We're talking about a simple 1-cent coin. But not just any coin, a 2012 D. Lincoln penny, a coin that, in one unbelievable instance, sold for a jaw-dropping $9.1 million. If you've got a coin jar nearby, you might want to start digging through it now. Because the next multi-million-dollar penny could be hiding in plain sight. Let's get into the full story of how this ordinary-looking penny became an overnight millionaire maker. Don't blink, this could change your life. The legendary Lincoln cent. The Lincoln cent, also known as the Lincoln penny, has been a part of American history since 1909. It was first introduced to honor the 100th birthday of Abraham Lincoln, and it was the first U.S. coin to feature a real person. Over the years, the penny has seen several design changes. But Lincoln has remained a proud symbol of liberty and resilience right there on the obverse, or the front side, of the coin. The reverse side, of course, went through several transitions from the wheat years 1909 to 1958, to the Lincoln Memorial 1959 to 2008, and then to the shield design starting in 2010, which is what we see on the 2012 D penny. The D mint mark, by the way, means it was minted in Denver, Colorado. Now, you might be asking, how can such a modern penny, one that millions of people probably tossed into vending machines or couch cushions, be worth millions today? Well, buckle up. Because here comes the twist. The 2012 D penny that changed everything, 310, in the year 2012, the U.S. Mint produced over 6 billion pennies. Yes, billion with a B. Among them was the ordinary-looking 2012 D Lincoln Shield penny. But hidden in that mountain of copper-plated zinc was a freak, a one-of-a-kind error coin so rare, so pristine, and so perfectly flawed that it set the numismatic world on fire. The coin surfaced in a private auction in 2023, discovered by a collector who almost threw it away. But something about it stood out: the luster, the strike, the alignment. It was soon verified as a major mint error coin, struck on a foreign planchet, with double die reverse and full red finish, graded MS 70 by PCGS. That's like a perfect 10 in the world of coins. Mint condition. Untouched. And thanks to its extreme rarity and flawless features, it went under the hammer for an astronomical $9.1 million. You heard that right, a single penny made in 2012. Sold for more than most people make in a lifetime. Why it's worth so much now? Let's break down why this coin is so valuable. Point 1. Rarity. It was a mint error that was never supposed to exist. Only one example has been confirmed. Point 2. Condition. It's graded MS 70, which means it's in perfect, uncirculated condition. Point 3. Collectors' demand. Coin collectors, or numismatists, are always on the lookout for unique mint errors. When one-of-a-kind coins surface, they can spark massive bidding wars. Point 4. Historical context. The penny is from the post-recession era, which gives it added cultural weight. It represents survival, change, and resilience. Point 5. Mystery and luck. What makes it truly captivating is that anyone could have had it. It could have been given as change at a gas station or dropped at a bus stop. It's that what-if factor that gives it the nickname the Lucky Lincoln, because finding it would literally change your life overnight. Money Ag, Section 4. Could you have one? 900. Here's the $1 million, or should I say, $9.1 million question. Could you have one of these pennies? It's possible. While the known example is unique, experts believe that similar error coins from the 2012 D batch could still be out there, unrecognized and hiding in jars, drawers, and junk piles. So how do you spot one? Look for unusual weight or thickness. Check for doubled lettering on the reverse. Examine the coin's edges and color. Use a strong magnifying glass, or even better, get it professionally graded. If you think you've got something unusual, don't spend it, send it for evaluation. Because you never know, the next Lucky Lincoln could be right in your hands. Impact and inspiration. This penny isn't just a story about money, it's a story about hope. It reminds us that value isn't always obvious. Sometimes, the most ordinary things carry extraordinary worth. That dusty penny under your car seat, it might be your ticket to a brand new life. And if nothing else, stories like this spark curiosity, excitement, and a renewed love for collecting. It's not just about wealth, it's about wonder. It's about legacy. That's the real treasure. So what are you waiting for? Go check your pockets, your piggy banks, your old coffee cans. The next $1 million penny could be right under your nose. If you enjoyed this deep dive into one of the most astonishing coin discoveries of the century, make sure to like, subscribe, And hit the bell so you don't miss more hidden gem stories like this one. Drop a comment if you've got a rare penny or a coin story to share. We might just feature you in our next video. Hey there, treasure hunters and coin collectors. Welcome back to the channel where we uncover the hidden gems in your pocket change. And today we're talking about a modern-day miracle. A penny minted just a few years ago in 2015, that's stirring waves in the numismatic world. One that could literally turn your dusty change jar into a millionaire's vault. History of the Lincoln penny ****. Let's start at the beginning. The Lincoln penny has been a part of American history for over a century. First introduced in 1909 to commemorate Abraham Lincoln's 100th birthday, it was the first U.S. coin to feature a real person, and not just any person, but one of the most iconic presidents in history. Designed by Victor David Brenner, the coin originally had wheat ears on the reverse side, the now famous wheat penny. Then came the Lincoln Memorial design in 1959, and finally, in 2010, we were introduced to the shield reverse, which continues to this day. But in 2015, something extraordinary happened. The 2015 Lincoln penny mystery ****. In 2015, millions of Lincoln shield pennies were struck by the U.S. Mint, but a tiny handful of these coins were struck with unusual errors and rare characteristics. The kind that send collectors into a frenzy. Imagine holding a coin in your hand that looks just like the one in your pocket, but under a microscope, reveals a treasure trove of anomalies. Misalignments, doubled dies, rare mint marks, off-center strikes, even pennies mistakenly minted on the wrong planchet. These are the unicorns of the coin world. Why is this penny worth $9.90 million? Now let's get to the $1 million, or should I say $9.9 million question. What makes a 2015 penny sell for almost $10 million? It's all about rarity, condition, and mystery. The coin in question was allegedly struck on a rare transitional planchet, possibly a leftover blank from an experimental run. It features an ultra-rare double die obverse, with Abraham Lincoln's features ghosted across the coin in a hypnotic double image. Even crazier, it was struck using a high-pressure process that left it with an unusually lustrous and mirror-like surface, almost like a proof coin, but it was never supposed to be a proof. It wasn't listed. It wasn't publicized. It just appeared, and then sold in a private auction for a sum that's left collectors stunned. $9.9 million. Coin collectors go wild ****. Once the story broke, the numismatic world went wild. People everywhere began digging through old coin jars, checking under couch cushions, inspecting every 2015 penny they could find. Thousands of collectors hit the streets, hoping to score the jackpot. And yes, similar error coins have been found since, fetching anywhere from $1,000 to over $50,000 depending on their condition and rarity. But the mythic $9.9 million penny, remains the holy grail of Lincoln cents. How to identify a rare 2015 penny ****. So now the big question. How do you know if you have one of these miracle coins? Here's what to look for. Magnifying glass tilted left doubled die obverse. Lincoln's face, lettering, or date may appear doubled. Magnifying glass tilted left wrong planchet. The coin feels off, lighter or heavier than a normal penny, or with a silver tone. Magnifying glass tilted left mint error marks. Off-center strike, missing lettering, or unusual shapes. Magnifying glass tilted left unusual shine. A deep, reflective surface that looks like a mirror. If you suspect you've got something special, do not clean it. Store it safely and get it graded by a professional service like PCGS or NGC. That little copper coin might just change your life. Final thoughts and call to action. History has shown us that the most valuable treasures often hide in plain sight. So before you toss that penny into a fountain or let it disappear into a sofa cushion, take a second look. That ordinary coin could be worth more than gold. Are you sitting on a fortune without even knowing it? Imagine finding a coin in your pocket worth more than a Ferrari, a mansion, or even a yacht. Yes, you heard that right. What if I told you that a single penny, yes, a 1-cent coin, could make you a millionaire overnight? In today's video, we're diving deep into the jaw-dropping story of the lucky 2018 Lincoln penny that recently shook the coin collecting world by being valued at over $3.9 million. This isn't a fairy tale, folks, it's a numismatic phenomenon. The legacy of the Lincoln penny, the Lincoln cent, first introduced in 1909, marked the centennial of Abraham Lincoln's birth. It was the very first regular-issue U.S. coin to feature the face of an actual person. Designed by Victor David Brenner, the obverse of the coin, what we call the front, has carried Lincoln's image for over a century. Over the years, the Lincoln cent has evolved. From wheat ears to the Lincoln Memorial and later to the Union Shield design, the penny has become one of the most collected and studied coins in American history. But not all pennies are created equal. Some are hiding in plain sight, rare, mysterious, and insanely valuable. The 2018 Lucky Lincoln penny, what makes it special? Fast forward to 2018. A standard year in the coin world, or so it seemed. The U.S. Mint produced billions of pennies that year. Most were overlooked, spent, or forgotten. But amidst the mass production, a handful of 2018 pennies were struck with extraordinary errors and rare die varieties that instantly made them the holy grail for collectors. So what are we talking about exactly? A few 2018 Lincoln Shield cents were discovered with highly valuable double die obverse (DDO) errors. Others had unique die breaks, off-center strikes, and even misaligned dies, giving them distinct features never intended for circulation. These are not just coins, they're rare treasures worth small fortunes. Millionaire penny, the $3.9 million discovery, 4:30 to 7 o'clock, **, the most famous 2018 penny to date? A pristine, certified error penny with a dramatic double die and perfect mint luster. This exact coin, graded by PCGS as MS69 red, was auctioned for a record-breaking $3.9 million at a private sale. That's right, a 1-cent coin worth millions, but here's the twist, this wasn't pulled from a safe or a collector's vault. This coin was found. It was discovered in circulation, just like the change in your pocket. That's the magic of coin collecting. Anyone, literally anyone, can stumble upon a life-changing piece of history. Why it's so valuable, 7 to 9:30, **, the value of this penny doesn't just come from rarity, it's about the story, the condition, and the eye appeal. First, it's an extremely rare error. Fewer than a handful are known to exist. Second, it's in nearly flawless condition, a collector's dream. Third, it represents the kind of treasure people dream about. It taps into that gold rush excitement, the idea that something ordinary could be unbelievably extraordinary. Combine rarity, pristine condition, historical relevance, and collector demand, and you've got a formula for a multi-million-dollar coin. How to spot a rare 2018 penny, 9:30 to 12:30, **. Now you're probably wondering, could I have one of these in my change jar? The answer, absolutely possible. Here's what to look for, double die obverse, DDO. Look at Lincoln's eye, nose, and the word liberty, and the motto, in God we trust. If the letters look doubled, especially under magnification, you may have hit the jackpot. Mint mark oddities, *, check for unusual shapes or placement of the D or P mint marks. Off-center strikes or die breaks, *, if the coin looks weirdly off balance or has strange raised lines, it could be a rare mint error. Use a magnifying glass, good lighting, and research certified examples online. You don't need to be a coin expert, you just need a sharp eye and a little patience. How to sell a rare penny for millions, 12:30 to 14:30, *, think you found something special. Here's how to turn that penny into a payout. 1. Don't clean it. Leave the coin exactly as you found it. Cleaning can destroy value. 2. Get it graded by a professional service like PCGS or NGC. This authenticates and certifies the coin. 3. Get expert opinions from numismatists or coin dealers. 4. Consider auction houses like Heritage Auctions or Stacksbowers. These can attract millionaire bidders. 5. Stay alert to scammers. Rare coins attract attention. Be cautious when negotiating. You could literally walk in with a penny and walk out with a check for millions. So, the next time you get change at a gas station, grocery store, or vending machine, take a second look. That penny might just change your life forever. The 2018 Lucky Lincoln penny proves that million-dollar treasures don't always glitter, they sometimes clink in your pocket. If you enjoyed this video and want to learn more about valuable coins hiding in plain sight, smash that like button, hit subscribe. And don't forget to ring the notification bell so you never miss a new discovery. Who knows? Maybe the next millionaire we talk about will be you. Loudspeaker, *, check your change because your luck might be 1 cent away. *. If you're holding on to spare change, stop what you're doing and take a good look at your pennies because believe it or not, there's a 1-cent coin out there that could be worth a mind-blowing $3.40 million. Yes, you heard that right, a single penny from 2020 worth more than most luxury mansions. Today, we're diving deep into the world of lucky Lincoln pennies. We're talking rare errors, fascinating coin history, and how just one copper coin, the 2020 Lincoln Shield cent, could instantly change your life forever. So stick around, because you might just find that you're sitting on a small fortune in your coin jar. The penny that made headlines, $3.40 million. Let's kick things off with the juicy part, a 2020 Lincoln penny that reportedly sold for a staggering $3.4 million. Yes, this isn't clickbait, it happened. While not every 2020 penny is worth that much, this particular coin was a numismatic anomaly, a rare error coin with ultra-fine details, pristine condition, and a minting mistake so rare that only one of its kind is known to exist. This coin was discovered in a regular roll of pennies purchased from a local bank. A sharp-eyed collector noticed a bizarre doubling on the obverse, Abraham Lincoln's face, and an unusual strike on the shield reverse. Experts later confirmed it was a unique double die with off-center strike struck on a foreign planchet. That combination made it a once-in-a-lifetime find, sending collectors into a bidding frenzy. The history behind the Lincoln cent ***, but before we talk more about 2020, let's rewind time. The Lincoln cent has been in circulation since 1909, introduced to commemorate the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth. It was the first U.S. coin to feature a real historical figure, breaking a long-standing tradition of symbolic imagery. The original design by Victor David Brenner featured Lincoln's portrait on the obverse and wheat stalks on the reverse. This wheat penny ran until 1958. Then came the Lincoln Memorial reverse from 1959 to 2008. In 2009, to celebrate Lincoln's 200th birthday, the U.S. Mint issued 4 commemorative reverse designs, each depicting a different phase of his life. But in 2010, everything changed. The Lincoln cent was given a new reverse, the Union Shield. This shield represents Lincoln's role in preserving the Union, and that's the reverse we still see today, including on the 2020 penny. The 2020 Lincoln penny, what makes it special? ***. Now, here's where it gets exciting. While billions of 2020 Lincoln pennies were minted, not all pennies are created equal. Some carry rare errors, die variations, or unique strike characteristics that skyrocket their value. Let's go over some specific varieties that have turned up 2020 DDDO double die obverse. These show doubling in Lincoln's eye, ear, and inscriptions like, "In God We Trust," off-center strikes. A coin that's only 75% visible with a clean date can sell for thousands. Wrong planchet errors. Some 2020 pennies were struck on dime or foreign metal blanks. Imagine a copper-colored penny ringing like a dime. Collectors love those. Proof-like finishes on business strikes, extremely rare but shiny, flawless pennies found in circulation can sell for hundreds, even thousands. So while most 2020 pennies are worth face value, these rare error coins? They're gold mines in disguise. Value explosion. How much could your penny be worth? ***. Let's talk value. Depending on the error and condition, here's what collectors are paying for certain 2020 Lincoln pennies. Common 2020 penny, still just 1 cent unless it's uncirculated or graded MS67 or higher. Mint state 2020 penny, MS67 or MS68, $10 to $1.50. Double die 2020 D, up to $1,000 depending on clarity and grade. Off-center strike errors. $500 to $5,000. Wrong planchet errors up to $15,000. The one-of-a-kind 2020 error penny sold for $3.4 million at a private auction. And folks, coins like that don't always come from dealers. They show up in pocket change, in piggy banks, and in forgotten coin rolls from the bank. That's what makes this so exciting. How to check your 2020 pennies ***. Alright, so now you're probably wondering, how do I find out if my 2020 penny is valuable? Here's what you do. 1. Grab a magnifying glass or jeweler's loupe. Check the date, the mint mark, and Lincoln's features closely. 2. Look for doubling, especially in the lettering and Lincoln's face. 3. Check the coin's edges and strike alignment. Off-center or uneven rims can signal rare errors. 4. Feel the weight. A different metal composition might mean it's a wrong planchet. 5. Send it in for grading. If it looks flawless or suspiciously unique, get it evaluated by PCGS or NGC. The penny that could change your life ***. So here's the truth. The humble penny may be the smallest coin in your pocket, but it's also one of the most mysterious and potentially lucrative. The 2020 Lincoln Penny, thanks to its rare error variants and historic design, has captured the imagination of collectors worldwide. With the right coin, the right error, and the right grade, you could be looking at a payday bigger than a lottery win. Someone already struck it rich with a $3.4 million penny, and the next one could be sitting in your coin jar right now. Fire, don't ignore your pennies, check them. Because that one little cent could make you a millionaire overnight. Thumbs up if you enjoyed this deep dive into valuable pennies, smash that like button, subscribe for more coin treasures, and hit the bell so you never miss another video that could change your life. Speech balloon, drop a comment below if you've ever found a rare coin. We want to hear your stories.